Well, afternoon, not morning.
Later today. Very early though. Hello. Good afternoon.
Let's say hi to the chat.
Yes.
Hi, Miss
Hello.
So.
Hi. Oh,
Hi.
hello, mother.
Hey, Black Sock
Hey.
Comics. Oh my gosh, I miss
Hi.
you. Oh, I'm so glad you're here.
Thanks for joining, everyone.
Thanks so much. We're so excited, especially since we had like a week hiatus because of all the things.
Life.
Yeah. So we're going to actually start off this episode with our back issues, and then we'll get into our geeky gossip, which I'm really excited about our geeky gossip section because there's some things that we're pretty excited about.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so comic besties back issues. We read Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. So I've actually read this before.
Me too. But I didn't remember anything.
Yeah. I had remembered some aspects of it, but it's been a while. So it was really nice to get a refresher. And then I realized, I remember loving this so much when I first read it.
Yeah, and I have the full run. I actually think I bought it with you, and I never finished it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna reread this. We'll read it together, and then I will read the rest of the series because I'm so bad about reading the first issue. I don't finish it, and then I can't remember anything. So I'm excited to read the rest of this because not only are the covers that I was able to pick up gorgeous, the story is so good, the art inside, oh my god. So really excited to read this. I'm
obsessed with the art, and so it is the art. Who did it is let's see, Belquist, I think, or Bilquist something. What's his last name? Evely. It's Bilquist Evely. So I'm not super familiar with their work.
No, me neither. But it's beautiful.
The art is.
Yeah, I also appreciate the really heavy duty covers. You know, the nice paper.
Oh, same. I wish Marvel did that.
It's always a bonus.
Yeah, the art on this is amazing. It makes me want to seek out any other work that artist has done, just because I'm so curious to see just more of the
that type of style. Yeah, and just
definitely. I mean, I bought mostly I bought A covers for this. I have a few cover Bs, but I bought mostly A covers because I loved the way that the artist was doing the A covers. So good.
Have you read a lot of Supergirl before?
So this was my first introduction to Supergirl. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've read a little bit. I read one of those. Oh god, what was that series? I'm blanking on the series, but it was the one that literally there was 50 issues in the whole thing, and everybody bought them. It was each DC character had a story. I don't know if you guys remember. I'm blanking on what it was, but that was how I read it. Other than that, I don't know. Not very much. Maybe she's been in things, but not her own series that I've read. But I have watched a little bit of the series that was on the CW. I didn't really like that.
Oh, I didn't even know that there was a CW show.
It's actually really good, and it's not it's CW. No, I didn't. Honestly, it's really good. The actress that plays her is perfect, honestly.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna have to check that out.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Black Sock. So the reason I ended up picking this up was because Tom King wrote it, and I was when the series was coming out, I was on a Tom King kick. So I purchased Strange Adventures and Miracle Man. I was I need to read everything that he's written, minus the Batman stuff, but mostly just Batman is the least interesting character to me. But I think I might pick some stuff up because people have said that it's kind of middle of the ground.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's worth it.
I am also so excited. So what's really cool about this is that this is what's going to be adapted for the DC live action.
I didn't even know that. This is news to me. I've been living under a rock about that, I guess. Was that announced recently or a while ago?
Kind of recently. It was when all the DC universe James Gunn.
Yeah. All those changes and stuff. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and what projects. But I was so excited just because, again, I'm a huge fan of the series.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. Hey.
Hi, Paul. Hey, Raska. Hello. Thanks for stopping by. Misso says the CW show is decent. Yeah, I feel like the CW shows can be pretty decent. I think I watched Green Arrow for a hot second.
I didn't watch that.
Before I was even into comics, like I was watching it and enjoyed it. But let's dig into the comic a little bit. So what was like your first impressions? I know this is a reread for both of us. And anyone in the chat, let us know what you thought. I know Black Sock Comics said that they killed it on the series, which I totally agree. But what was like the first impressions, things that drew you in?
Yeah, so at first, like the beginning, kind of it doesn't start with Kara, it's or Supergirl. It like starts with another character that I don't even know if she's in other stories or anything. What was her name again, though? Her name was
Mary. No, I believe.
Yes. So, which at first I couldn't remember if that actually was like before they said her name. Like it kind of looks like Kara. So then I was like, wait, is that her? But then I love the intro that we get from Kara because
it is. I'm sorry, Ruth Mary Knoll.
Yes. So the intro of Kara is really hilarious because she's celebrating her 21st birthday, and she is very, very drunk. And she's been having a good old time, like party by herself, and that's how like we're introduced to her in this series, which I thought it's just so funny. And then I believe there's a character that attacks. What's her name again? We're called Mary for now. It's shorter. And
Ruth. Ruthie.
Ruth. Okay. So then. Yeah, so then Kara actually is all drunkenly actually fights off the bad guy and stuff. And it's just, I don't know. I really love that part. I thought that was a really good, like, just intro. Okay, thank you.
Ruthie.
Ruthie or Ruth?
Ruthie.
Yeah, so, so I don't know. I didn't know that character, but it's cool. I really love that off the bat. It's like two really strong, like, female characters. But I really like the rest. I really like this part where you could obviously like we knew that it was Supergirl, but like it reveals that there it was so I really like that.
And Crypto, the dog.
Yeah. I love also when I see the pets in there. But yeah, what were some of your thoughts?
Well, I knew I was like 100% in when I started reading this because it had like a kind of like folklore medieval tone to it with Ruthie's speech, and I was like, oh, I'm such a geek for that kind of storytelling and genre within comics or books. So it felt very like fantasy forward, and so I was 100% in. I really, really love like the kind of flowery language that Tom King writes it for Ruthie, like her speech patterns, and especially like juxtaposed against Supergirl's kind of like really casual, like, I totally get it, but we're not going to kill people.
Yeah, I love that. So I really like their dynamic already.
I'm really excited to reread the whole series and just dive back in. And again, the artwork is just so good. You have like these really full, beautiful scenes with like the setting and the coloring. The colorist did such a phenomenal job too as well. I love the tones. I also, again, this was like my first introduction. So you're getting within the first issue these like snapshots of something happening with her powers under a red sun versus I think it was like a yellow sun, and so she's a little bit more susceptible and doesn't have I think they mention it like powers of the god that the gods would envy when she's in this world. And I also love that Ruthie, she's really young. I'm always a fan of younger characters in comics because I find their insistence really amusing, and Ruthie's insistence that she like swims across this lake to get to Supergirl, and then she's like sitting there on her butt, and she's like offers her again the sword after she said no a bunch of times, and I'm just funny. It's so funny. I think Tom King captures her adolescence really well, and this like she feels like she knows everything and she's really determined, she's not going to let up, but she doesn't really understand, which in the narrative kind of like retrospective moments, she mentions, like, I just didn't know a lot then, which will come to pass. And so I love that kind of narrative tool that he uses, where she kind of, you're pulled outside of the story for her to narrate it.
Do you since you read the rest of it, did she narrate like all issues? Is that like a normal thing?
Yeah, I believe so. It's been such a long time, but I'm like 100, like I'm pretty sure that's that continues. Yeah, that's
cool.
I don't honestly think I read the last 2 issues though.
Oh, really?
So I don't think I've finished like the full series.
Oh, wow.
So we need to be, since we own
it. We will finish that on this show. And give our full thoughts.
Yeah. And then Crypto is adorable. I always love a good pet sidekick. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just a huge fan. Tom King made me way more interested in Supergirl. I really love the like vibe of the first issue.
I do too.
You know, with you see Ruthie and her brothers and the mom. I love that the mom was kind of like, go forth and try to avenge your father. Like she knew that like she couldn't stop Ruthie, and you know, gives her the horse essentially that her father had, and her reasoning is like, oh, I just don't want to take care of it, but you know, like she's obviously helping her. So I really loved the first issue. Was just such a hit for me.
Yeah, me too. I'm really excited to read the rest of it, especially because I haven't read it at all. So it'll be a fun little journey. And it's manageable. It's like 8 issues, I think.
I think 12.
Or is it 12?
Am I wrong?
Could be wrong. 8.
Is it 8?
It might be 8.
No, it is 8. It literally says on the cover. It's 1 through 8. So it's fine.
Yeah. Yes, 1 through 8. But yeah, I sometimes I like when it's like a more manageable series like that, just so I can really dive in and just read it all, binge through it. So I'm excited.
Well, and a lot of people have said that's like Tom King as a writer, that's his sweet spot. Like he does really well with miniseries or just like self-contained works rather than this like kind of like ongoing, which I think was people's criticisms of like Batman, his run of Batman.
Yeah, I can understand that. Cool.
So the next comic that we read, we both picked an indie title, and for mine I picked The L's by Ablaze, and I want to show you guys some of the artwork for this because it reminds me of a Pixar film.
Yes, that was my thoughts. I haven't read it yet, but I've been seeing that cover and that art style, and I'm like, oh, I really should read that because that looks totally up my alley.
You would love this.
I don't know why.
You would love this. Like it's so freaking cute.
Oh my god, yeah, that's really cute.
Yeah, it reminds me of like a Pixar film, and I love that style. But it was just interesting to also see it in comic form because I feel like again this like kind of animation art. I'm so used to seeing it in animation rather than comic form.
And flat.
And I thought that was really cool. Like it's a really beautiful and well done comic. So the premise of this is that you have Elle, who is new at this school, and she starts making friends. And then she has these stressful moments. And I believe she has a personality disorder. And it's undiagnosed from what I'm understanding. And you see these internal moments where certain personalities are trying to like push through and be the dominant personality. And I don't even know if I picked up more issues of this. Like I knew I wanted issue 1 to just give it a chance, but now I want to binge it because it was really, really, really well done.
That sounds good. Like, I mean, anything that, of course talks about like, mental health, it's like, I think that's really important. And it sounds like it might even be more, I don't know if it's more, well, it's not more metaphorically, but it like actually happens, I guess, right? It's not like where it's.
Yeah. Like there's like these other like versions of her.
Even has like different hair colors. I love that. Yeah, that's really cool.
And I think having it done with like teenagers as well, especially that stress. I feel like we see stories of like personality disorder. I mean, I think of like Moon Knight, and I think of it just ends up being a lot darker. And so I'm really interested to see this because I'm pretty sure Els is an all ages comic. So to be able to talk about this in an all ages comic, I think is really interesting. So I enjoyed the first issue. If anyone is interested in mental health, kind of Pixar, Disney animation styles, and is open to like all ages comics, which I personally love all ages comics,
Me too.
then
I'm sold.
I would definitely recommend reading this. I think it was really, really, really good. And it's like sweet and talks about like friendships. And for the first issue, it was just, I'm a fan.
Yeah. Is there a trade out yet, or is it just it's not?
I feel like there has to be a trade.
I feel like by now, like I feel like I heard about that a while ago. Do you guys know?
I got this last year.
Okay, yeah, that's possible then. Because usually it's like 5 or 6 issues to get a trade. So I'm sure that if they kept getting them out, you know, one after the other, and hopefully. But yeah, I really want to read that and then talk about that with you.
Yeah, if anyone in the chat has read it or is watching the replay, let me know what you think of, like on L's. I'm really a huge fan. Like I want to either buy the trade or continue to get.
Yeah, they have a lot of cool like variant covers. I think I saw too. So absolutely. Okay, so mine is very different. So mine is technically DC, but it's kind of like a DC, more of an indie that's not like your typical Batman, Superman, whatnot. So this is another one. I actually read this a while ago, but again, I never read, I don't even know if I read more. I feel like I might have, but this is Scooby-Doo Apocalypse. Of course, I would bring in Scooby-Doo to this, but I've always been a fan of like the Hanna-Barbera cartoons. I of course watched them as a kid. I always loved like the Flintstones and ones like that. So I don't remember how long it was ago, but a while ago they had like DC did this whole crossover series where they were collaborating with Hanna-Barbera comics, and they would do like a more mature take on these characters, which makes sense because demographically that would be the people that are our age. Oh, nice. Have you read it before? Yeah, so it's like usually people would be our age or older that would have grown up with this, so it would make sense it would be a little bit more mature. But yeah, they did it with like the Flintstones, and I'm trying to think who else they did it with, like Snagglepuss or something. I don't know. So this one was really interesting because it is like another kind of origin story of the whole like Scooby-Doo Mystery Machine gang here, which is really neat. Actually, it starts off with Daphne is actually doing like a mystery series herself. I think she does like it on TV or on the web. And then Fred is like her cameraman. And then Shaggy is actually a dog trainer. And then they actually show like how he and Scooby met in like a little mini story at the end. And Scooby, from what I'm gathering, like he was part of like a government experiment, I guess, to like these make like super dogs. And they ended up more so like abandoning him because it didn't really work on him as well, and they didn't think they're like, this dog is just not smart enough, which is so sad. And they were like they explained like why he like that. Well, it was supposed to make all these like dogs like talk and stuff, but for him it like didn't have him talk like an adult. It was more of like the level of like a toddler, which explains then why he talks the way he does. So I thought that was really funny. So then Shaggy ends up like finding him and then taking him on. And then Velma, of course, is a scientist. And that just talks about how they all meet up. And then there's a whole bigger plot that is I'm still trying to wrap my head around. But I thought it was a really cool way to kind of introduce all of them and make it a little bit more futuristic. Just different vibes than, like, I read a lot of the Scooby-Doo, comics and stuff. And it's always the same old. And I feel like this is kind of a nice, like, it keeps it fresh. It keeps it a little bit more interesting, I think. I don't know what to expect. Like, I don't expect that it's going to be like, like the cartoon or anything. So I guess to kind of just show like a couple things of the art. So I really love the art style. Here's like Velma, how they do like hers. Here's just kind of everybody. Scooby.
Oh, that's such an interesting art style for it, because I always imagined more
just cutesy, more whimsical. Yes. And it's not. I feel like this is more sci-fi. I really like how they did Shaggy, but it makes sense. Like,
oh my gosh, that's such an interesting way of drawing him.
Yeah.
Oh, so this definitely feels a little bit, or it definitely feels like a departure from what you were talking about, the traditional Scooby-Doo comics, and this feels maybe a little bit more adult.
Yeah, and I don't think it's like I don't even know what
adult in the way that's like
just more mature, but not in like a way. I think kids could still read it. It's just I feel like adults would appreciate it more. But yeah, I just thought it was really fun, and yeah, the art style is a little bit more grungier, which is just really cool. So I don't know how many issues they had. I think all the trades out or anything by now. I think it was like a lot of these DC ones with Hanna-Barbera were very short, like runs. Like I know the Flintstone was like maybe 2 volumes, which I read like the first one, which is also really good. So I highly recommend if you guys are a fan of obviously Scooby-Doo or Hanna-Barbera like cartoons, like you go check those out because they're really fun. So I'm excited to continue the series because again, I didn't remember anything from this. I read this like issue like once or twice and I just didn't remember. And I'm like, okay, we need to just finish this already. What are you doing? So yeah, it's a fun read.
I like that our back issue segment is forcing us to not only just like read our back issues, but also reread certain titles that we've either really liked or we haven't quite finished yet. So this is definitely perfect motivation.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then we have some Marvel team-ups. So for my Marvel team-up, I picked Miss Marvel and Moon Knight. So this series, they did Miss Marvel and Wolverine, Miss Marvel and Venom. And so when I picked this up, I didn't actually realize that at least Miss Marvel and Wolverine and like the X-Men came before this. Okay. And you can still read it as a standalone one-shot, but you do have more context. I can tell if you read the Wolverine one before this. And so what I love about the team-ups is that you just get to see characters who wouldn't normally be together partner. And I loved seeing Moon Knight and Miss Marvel. I really enjoyed the artwork on this as well.
Wow. I love that.
There was a character in here that I actually didn't have any context for or wasn't familiar with, and it's a Moon Knight character, Hunter's Moon. So I'm not sure if other people are familiar with Hunter's Moon, but he makes an appearance.
Oh, cool.
He also has the power of Khonshu.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, for me, I haven't actually read any Moon Knight. I've only like watched the show, so that's the only context I have. But yeah, that sounds really, really good. Hold on. Sound.
I definitely do that as well. Like getting tired of the gritty adult stories. Like sometimes you just need something else to break up that like darkness.
Exactly.
And all ages stories tend to be a little bit lighter. But what I like about the L's is like it's definitely going to deal with some heavy content, but it still feels like light. So I'm excited to read that. But I am on the same page as you.
Yeah, I agree.
But this was really fun. It obviously is not like a comic where you're like, wow, this is going to be like a whole storyline. It's really fun. It didn't feel as fluffy as I thought it would be because sometimes these one-shots with the Marvel team-ups can also feel really fluffy where you're like, okay, like I can kind of like toss that. But there are these kind of robotic rats that are attacking people in the city. And you get at the end of this issue a little bit more idea of like who's behind it. And it's also another character I'm not familiar with. So I feel like it's just introducing me to more Marvel villains and maybe like heroes that I wouldn't normally know about. And you know, I love Miss Marvel. I love the way that they write her. Almost all writers just like get to have fun with her and having this internal dialogue while she's with Moonlight that feels kind of like geeky and fangirly, and also just, you know, again, capturing that, you know, adolescent mindset. Like she's like, I'm going on social media to track, you know, where the robotics. She's like, oh, you can get this information a little bit faster than some of the regular superhero channels. And so she's adept to social media, and that's what she used. But when she goes to Moon Knight, she's like, I'm not going to tell him I found this on Twitter.
I love that. Yeah, I think I would really enjoy those like team ups with her as well.
You would like these.
I mean, I still haven't finished like all of her like her runs, definitely not. But I really enjoyed the show. I really been enjoying what I've read so far. So I think I would really love it as well.
So the current Moon Knight, I have most of the issues. I think I'm caught up I started reading, I think I got into issue 5 or 6, and I really enjoyed the current Moon Knight run, and the artwork is really good. So I would, from what I've read, I would recommend it, but I don't know how it kind of flows throughout, like continues in the later issues, but I enjoyed what I read of it, and it was enough to keep it on my pull list. So I have a lot of Moon Knight that I need to read. So I was also really excited, having read a bit of the Moon Knight, reading the Miss Marvel, and obviously Moon Knight is a protector of like the kind of like creature like vampires and things like that. And so when Moon Knight she's like, Miss Marvel's so surprised that vampires exist, and it was just like a really cute.
That's so fun. I love that. Yeah, sounds good. Okay. So going with the team ups, of course, I always pick the most obscure things. So
I love it.
Okay, so this one I found, and it was the most shocking. I was just digging through bins at my local comics shop, and I found this, and it was $2, and I was like, oh my god, and I grabbed it right away. So this one is, I think it's from 1996, and it's Spider-Man team up with Gambit and Howard the Duck. Oh my gosh. So I feel like I think I've talked about Howard the Duck a little bit on our show and on my Instagram, but I don't know. I have this weird fascination with him that I've been really like trying to read some of his comics. I've only read some of the more modern series, but I haven't read any of the older ones. So this was like really fun. I was like, okay, that's just really like it's such an interesting like team up. Now I will say though, I did think that originally it was going to be all 3 of them in one story. So I was a little disappointed to find out it wasn't. It was actually 2 separate stories. So I was like Spider-Man and Howard, and Spider-Man and Gambit. And I ended up liking Gambit's story more, not because of Howard the Duck, just because I didn't actually really vibe with the villain of the Howard the Duck one. I think I read online that they've been in another issue or something before, so I think it is from his universe, but I just wasn't into it. But I actually, like you, I actually learned about a new character, and I messaged Haley this. I was like, so I love Spider-Man in general, but there's like so many different Spider-Mans out there that I'm not even familiar with. So I actually learned about, this was the Spider-Man that's a Ben Reilly Spider-Man. I was like, I asked Haley, have you heard of that? I asked my boyfriend, do you ever heard of that? And like, no one was really familiar with that. So first of all, I'm curious if you guys have heard of the Ben Reilly Spider-Man. But basically, he's actually a clone of Peter Parker, which I knew nothing of, and I'm really interested. I actually kind of want to look into like more of those with Ben Reilly, because he's like more of a, from what I'm gathering, like he's more of a different vibe than Peter Parker, where he's like, Peter Parker is more nerdy, really smart. The other one, he's just not the same exact. I'm still trying to get like his personality and stuff, but yeah, so that was just, I think he was in both stories, and same thing with regular Peter Parker. But this again, like, it was, because it was from the 90s, it was fun to just like look through like some of the ads and things like that. Apparently this was from Subway, this Garfield little like I don't even know, pail that has like his face on it.
That's so cute.
Let's see. I'm going to show some of the art.
Yeah, if you didn't know, Candice loves ads, especially in older comics. It is so funny. I'll get pictures, yes. And she's like, did you see this ad?
I'm very nostalgic, and also I work in marketing, so I really like seeing that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, the art style, I don't know, I'm a mix on it, but I thought it's just a little different than what I've read, but I like how Gambit looks, I think. But yeah, I haven't read a lot of Gambit. I mean, I've been just, recently within the last like year and a half, like diving into more X-Men, but I've been really interested in Gambit and Rogue and everything. So this was just like fun to get another story from him. And like I said, I ended up liking his story more. So I think I definitely want to read more of his older stuff and his newer stuff. I just picked up the Rogue and Gambit, the new series. I have to read that. But yeah, let me just show you real quick the let's see. Well, here's Howard. Wait, we're in the 80s. Yeah, I haven't read a lot of the older Spider-Man. I mean, I've kind of just like pick up a lot of random issues. I haven't like read like full runs of anything yet, I feel like, but I feel like I
Yeah.
would like because this one was the late 90s. I feel like I would like 80s as well. You guys have any recommendations of like any of your favorite like Spider-Man storylines that, or since I feel like it's one of those things like Batman or like X-Men, there's just so many, so it's like I don't really know where
Where to
to
start?
start. I
Yeah.
just been kind of as I find like random things like this, I'm like, that looks fun. I'm just gonna dive in, and it's like just fun, like just learning about new characters. But yeah, so here's.
I feel the same way about Spider-Man. I don't really have a lot of Spider-Man except for random issues, like you said.
Here's our Howard.
Oh my gosh, that artwork though.
Yeah, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's actually was a pretty like Marvel card. Ooh,
Oh, that's cool that you have the
that's
Marvel
cool.
cards.
Every so often I do find Marvel cards that I've been like I want to collect a little bit, like a lot of the older ones, because of course trading cards were really the rage back then. Actually, I think one of our local comic shops, Haley, actually has the cards like for like a couple cents, so we might have to look at that next time. I'm not on Marvel Unlimited at the moment. I use like Comixology for digital ones, so I don't know. They have some Marvel stuff on there, but that's good to know. Might have to look into that. Who knows? Hi, Sheena.
Hi, Sheena. Safe driving. And
yes, please be careful. But we appreciate you catching the show. But yeah, even Venom was in here. I did not know that was gonna happen. Venom is. Yeah, I will just.
Which shop are you talking about?
Pastimes. I'm pretty sure they had them on the counter, and I don't know. I already had bought so much on there. I was like, I'm not gonna look through that too.
Did we go to Pastimes? Yes, the Pastimes is the one in Skokie.
Yes.
Suburbs situation area.
That's
a big one.
Like you never know where you find it. I feel like at maybe like cons, different toy stores. I don't know. I feel like it's just something I'd like to collect at least some of them and get to the older artwork. But yeah,
love it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a fun read. It has like two different stories that aren't really related, but if you like Spider-Man, I think it's fun, and it's a thick issue too, which is cool.
That's fun. Yeah, I really haven't dived into any of those characters. I mean, Howard the Duck, not really at all. Spider-Man, I don't really read any Spider-Man, and then Gambit, for as much X-Men as I read, like is not really present in a lot of the X-Men titles that I have read. So I think it's really interesting. I just like don't know much about him at all, other than like I have issues of the Mr. and Mrs. Was it Mr. and Mrs.
Mr. and Mrs. X? Yeah, that's one I want to read as well. I got the trade really cheap at like C2E2, and I still haven't read it, so I'd be down to read that for the show.
Love that.
There's also a series that's with Gambit and Wolverine. I don't remember what the name of the series was, but it was like a mini series that I think is worth reading as well for you. So I recommend that one. Yeah.
Now we're going to chat some geeky gossip. I am really excited about this segment today.
Yes, me too. Yay! So, this one I was really excited about. Also, you're going to get a little bit of a quick fashion show because I will get off my chair just to even show you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, hello.
That shit look familiar, guys?
Yeah. So, Cake Worthy, which is one of my absolute favorite fandom brands, that is online mostly. But I love them so much. They do actually, you guys have probably seen a lot of their clothes because I posted on Instagram, or I'm wearing them on streams and stuff where they have like a lot of the characters that are kind of like overlapping, and really bright, colorful, but they do a lot of collaborations with big brands like Disney. So I was really excited about this one because it was for the Disney 100, which I know I've mentioned a couple times on here, but it's really cool how all these different companies are being able to work for Disney with that Disney 100. So as I will first show you what I am wearing, and then I will go into the other products because I did get everything. So first, guys, we have a flannel shirt that is actually Steamboat Willie themed. I will see if I can turn around. I'm going to take out my earbuds so I won't be able to hear you, but one second. Yeah, so this is, I'm really short, so you can't see the whole thing.
Oh, wait.
She's trying to cut me off. So this is, I'm short, so I don't think you'll be able to see the whole thing. But Cakeworthy does this thing where they do a lot of graphics or text on the back of their flannels, and their flannels are so soft. But this one is a Steamboat Willie one, which I absolutely love. Vintage Mickey. I think that's one of my favorite Mickey Mouse. Just the style of it, everything. And they do a lot of like let's see here. Details like on their collar, on their pockets. Thank you. And it's really good quality. It's really soft. And then I also got from their collection, it's a Mickey Mouse Club. Again, very retro Mickey. And it's a white top and it's a crop. So really adorable things. Hold on, now I'm gonna put my earbud back and I can hear you. So that was my little fashion show, guys.
So cute. I mean, if I was more into like old-fashioned Mickey, I would 100% have picked that flannel because I think that flannel is really cute. It's just not typically like, I just don't own like really any like Mickey stuff, but I saw that and immediately knew you were going to get it.
Yeah, I just really like all the grays. I think it's really flattering. But yeah, some of the other things. Oh, thank you. Or no, I don't have the hat, but yeah, thank you.
I also think the hat.
Yeah, that was something.
I need a good bucket hat this summer. That is fashion goals. I'm going to get a bucket hat, and honestly, this Disney one is pretty cute.
I was tempted, but I have a really big head, so it's kind of one of those things where I need to. No, like for real, I've ordered like bucket hats from Amazon, and it was so cute. I tried it on; it was really tight on my head, and like. I get like headaches and stuff all the time, and I'm like, I can't have this really tight thing on my head, but it's really cute because again, like they did a lot of homages, or I guess to the Mickey Mouse Club, because that's like the logo from Mickey Mouse Club. It's on the back, this backpack as well. I really like how I think the whole collection is pretty much like white, grays, black, which is just really classic and just really flattering on anybody because I feel like a lot of their stuff is very bright and colorful.
Yes, it is.
Thanks for joining. Hi. It's just really like bright and colorful and a little bit out there. So I think this is just, yes. And what's great about this is actually pretty much all their clothes is like unisex fit.
Yeah, it is.
So anybody, like you can get it. And they're really, really comfortable.
I love that for you, Miss. So I am like a baseball cap person.
Yeah.
I have a similar problem, but like on the opposite spectrum, I have a really small head. So most hats are too big for me. So I have to like always really adjust. So bucket hats like tend to like fall off my head and be really big. But
they'll be like covering your eyes. They'll be like a little kid at the hat. But yeah, and I already showed you guys the t-shirt. You want to see the next slide? Okay. Yeah, so they came out with like I think maybe like it's like 7 items. So this one they had a pair of shorts and I feel like it's a lot of things that you could.
I think these are really cute.
You could just pair like I mean I really like even wearing these flannels just with like a very neutral top or tank top, t-shirt, things like that. Okay, then I was really excited. I was very tempted to get the second one here. So it's actually a larger skull club. Yes. I'm not alone. So they actually make they just started making these jumpers, full body jumpers. And I was really tempted to get it, but I don't know, I had to watch it a little bit because you literally, I mean, I think their stuff is fair price, but it is a little bit higher up than some. It's definitely not
like flannels were like
it's not fashion or anything. It's like really good quality. So honestly, it's worth the money. But also I will say, well, one, if anybody wants to order anything, I do have a referral code. Not because of any like sponsors. That'd be so awesome if it was, Cakeworthy.
And this is actually like, yes, let's get sponsored by Cakeworthy.
But they actually do like I've been like buying from them for years. They do.
They do have jammies.
I have some. If you look on my Instagram, so you'll see I have a Simpsons one that's I think it's what's it called, Itchy and Scratchy, that I wore for like Christmas a couple years ago, and then I also got one that was for Animal Crossing. They do ones for like Halloween. They're really wild looking, but they're like fun. I feel like they're nostalgic to kind of even like, you know, what you would wear as a kid. Like they're just really fun. But yeah, I really wanted that jumper. But I didn't. But it looks really cute. I'm kind of curious like the fit on that. So I was a little nervous to get it. I think that was why. But I'm kind of excited that they'll make more. And then yeah, you can see the flannel. That's even a better of like a full picture of it. But yeah, I highly recommend it. Oh yeah, what I was saying about the referral. If you actually are interested in getting that, is just like reach out, and like if I give you this code, then I will get $10 off, and you will get $10 off.
She's like, please help me buy more cake living.
And they have they actually have the best reward system, in my opinion. It's really cute. So it's called Sprinkles Rewards, and they actually like the more you buy, and it's like I think it's like I don't know how much money you have to spend to get it, but it's like really fair where it's like equivalent to a point per dollar, I think, something like that. And like I've gotten it where it's like you can get like $75 off with these Sprinkles points after accumulating. So it's really good. But yeah, I was just really excited to share this. They're always coming out with new collections, so this was a perfect one that I really, really like.
So with that being said, Cakeworthy and WandaVision is my jam. I am also going to do a fashion show. I think it's hilarious that we both jumped on this stream.
Yeah, we actually did not connect about that.
Here, wait a minute. Let's see. Okay, so Candace texted me and she was like, Carlos, don't enable her to spend money. And she was like, they have a WandaVision. So it has her headdress on the little pocket. And then it says Scarlet Witch on the collar. And then I'm also going to take out my headphones.
Yeah.
I can't hear.
Do your spin.
There we go.
Perfect.
It's so soft.
Very nice. Yeah, this is Haley's first Cakeworthy. So yes, do you agree that this is very soft, very comfortable. I really love the red.
Super worth it. I will say I'm not typically sorry, Carlos, I'm obviously going to enable her to spend.
Everybody's gonna enable.
I'm not super in love with I don't need you to tell me who I am on the back. Like I would have actually preferred it to be a more subtle design and not have, but like I'm not sure, Candice, if you had mentioned like having text on the back is a little bit like more their style and their thing. So I love this. I'm a huge, like, it's super comfy. I was also kind of really wanting, I don't own any flannels. This is my like flannel, only flannel that I have.
Perfect to get.
You will probably see me rocking this at C2E2 because I just love, I was like,
it's a good layering piece. We'll just arrive and we'll both be wearing our flannels. Yeah, but what you're saying about the text, they do have that a lot on a lot of different things, and it's a lot of quotes. I'm trying to think. Actually with the kind of thing that I had on my back was kind of more of a rarity. So it's like, if you're not a fan of that, but I still think like I do like the style that they do it in. It's just if you're not really someone that likes like quotes and things, then but I think they're just really nice. So go check them out. Let me know if you get anything or you need a code.
They also have Spider-Man and so they have like Spider-Man pajamas. So you can take a look. There is some like unisex. So as you can see, they have a male model for the other WandaVision shirt. I'm not a huge fan of like having all of the characters. But I think it is still super cute. But this was like the thing that I wanted the most. So.
I almost got that. So you see that? Yeah, that's the ones I wear a lot that you guys have probably seen where it's like Disney and it's all different princesses or something like that. I mean, just so you guys know, they literally collab with like everybody. Harry Potter, Marvel, Disney, Nintendo, Care Bears, a lot of ones for Halloween, Universal Monsters,
Universal Monsters one is really cool.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, some things they do once they sell out, they're gone, and then some things they do bring them back. But it's one of those things that it's like I try to jump on it as soon as it gets released because it's something that they might not have. They also had this really cute thing. I think it was in one of the other photos, but it was like a baseball cap, and it had like the Mickey Mouse ears. Maybe they it's cropped, but they're actually supposed to bring it back again. And I even think you would like it, Haley, where it's like you can wear it forward or backwards. Like, especially if you ever go on a Disney trip.
Well, which I will be. Fun news, guys. I will be going to Disney this June with my family, and it'll be my first time at Disney World. So obviously we'll be getting Mickey Mouse ears there.
Yes, I'm very jealous. But yeah, I will let you know if that comes out because you might want one. Yes.
Oh, that would be interesting if they did something with DC.
They did.
Oh, okay, cool.
There's not a lot left over. There might be some things on sale. They do put out things on sale all the time. But yeah, they did do one. It was I think it was a lot of classic DC, like a lot of like the vintage Batman things. Okay. So next topic.
So this is also Candace's pick, and it is so Candace.
Yes.
So I'm excited about this.
We have a lot to unpack here about this. So this is Mika and the Witch's Mountain. It's actually a video game. I found this totally random through Instagram. Like, Instagram knew that I liked this. I don't know how it works.
Instagram target.
But yeah, so what's really cute about this is you play as Mika, who is basically a witch in training, which does this sound like someone?
She's delivery service.
She delivers packages. No, actually, yes. I found this that it was actually a Kickstarter. It recently finished, but I feel like this is something that will end up being released after the Kickstarter. It's just if you guys are not familiar with Kickstarters, it's with the way that a lot of projects like books, comics, video games are funded. And they just did like a whole campaign where it'd be like you get like the video game and some other goodies with that. But just to talk about the game, so you're Mika, and it's heavily inspired by Kiki's Delivery Service. They even said, and I think a lot of the Zelda games, like Wind Waker and one of the other ones, I think. So that kind of like gives you like the vibe of it. But yeah, I'm a massive like Kiki's Delivery Service fan. No, I don't think so. I think this is original character. The person that created this game is actually, I believe, from Spain. Yes, Valencia, Spain. His name, the creator is Abraham Kosar. And the project was funded. They like went way over their I think the last time I wrote this note, it was like they made like $43,000 on it. But yeah, so this is kind of like the atmosphere of it. I really like the plot because I always love the idea of Kiki's Delivery Service, of her just like delivering packages to different villagers and things. And that's what you're doing here. And what you're going to end up doing is you have to keep upgrading your broom, which I just love, to give it different features and just make it stronger so that she can make it up to the top of this mountain on this island.
Love that. I
don't 100% know if it's what specifically she's going to find at the top of that mountain, or if it's just delivering a special package. But I just love that. Yeah.
It gives me a little bit of Animal Crossing vibes, because it is like that, like kind of like interacting with villagers and kind of like floating around and doing these like little tasks.
Yeah. I really like, cozy games. And I think this is something that is totally like that. Like, it's going to be very much like a Studio Ghibli type movie. But yeah, and then I think, she has a cat, I believe. Is
it a cat or is it a bird?
I thought I saw on the main cover.
I think it's a bird.
If you see it in the first slide that you had, I'm pretty sure. Or no, it's a bird.
Oh, it's a bird. Yeah.
Okay, that was news. I don't know why. I think I defaulted in my head that she had a cat. But yeah, just so you guys know, this game will be I ordered it digitally, but you'll be able to get it like on Steam, Nintendo Switch, and I think like PlayStation, Xbox, just pretty much everywhere, which is really exciting. I'm really excited that this project actually like was able to get backed, and that they'll be moving forward with it.
Oh,
no, I am
Disney
playing it.
Dreamlight Valley. She bought like what you got the beta version.
Yeah,
Every
so
time I'm texting Candice, I'm like, hey, what are you doing today?
oh my
She's
god,
like,
Miss So,
playing
we need to talk
Disney
about
Dreamlight.
this, please. I want to hear like all your thoughts on it. Yeah, I got it right away when it came out. I did the pre-order and everything, and I got like the highest like pack. That will be a free to play game. But I did pay for it because yes. I'm not really happy about that either, but I'm not surprised that it happened. Just a lot of games are, you have to pay for extra things. Hi, John.
Hi, Jen.
Thanks for
Thanks
watching.
joining.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there was anything else about it, but it's going to be open world. As you can see, you're going to have like a lot of collectibles and things that you have to deliver to the villagers. I really just like the design of it, of even what some of the maps and things are going to look like, because it's going to be going all over this island. And I think that's really cute. Yeah, I think it'll just be a fun like game to play and just explore. And it's like my dream come true, honestly, to have something that's similar to Kiki's Delivery Service, because I love it so much, and it fits very much just the kind of games I like. They're very chill. Yeah, you got more unlockables. Yeah, let's definitely talk later. I want to hear all the thoughts on it for sure. It's really fun, especially if you're a Disney fan. But which then I feel like if you like that, you would like this too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just really cool to find a game that I found on accident, and actually would be something that I would really like. So
I'm so curious to see how it ends up, like the gameplay, especially because it's a Kickstarter. I've never really seen Kickstarters with like video games.
I haven't either.
Be really, really interesting. So I'm so excited for you to get this when it releases.
Yeah, I'm excited to show it to you.
So I picked Daisy Jones and the Six. So if anyone is not familiar with Taylor Jenkins Reid's, she came out with Daisy Jones and the Six, which is essentially inspired by Fleetwood Mac and the like relationship between Lindsey Buckingham and why am I blanking on the name? And Stevie Nicks. So I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Yeah. And so I hadn't read this book. Taylor Jenkins Reid's just like, I don't know. It was just like, was not that it was on my radar, because obviously a lot of her books get a lot of hype. But what I was really excited for is that Amazon Prime on Friday dropped the first 3 episodes of Daisy Jones and the Six. In addition, they also created an album, a fictional album, because what is interesting about the book is at the end of the book, you have all of the songs from the album. Cool. And so it is a really awesome 70s vibe, the whole show. So I was more interested in the show than in the book. So I binged the first 3 episodes on Friday. I have to say I'm obsessed. Sam Claflin is like one of the main male characters, Billy Dunn, and he's just beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, like kind of obsessed with him. And I loved the vibe. It made me want to like binge and just like listen to Fleetwood Mac all weekend.
I love Fleetwood Mac.
It's really interesting the way that it's shot. Is you're starting out as it's like a kind of like a mockumentary in some ways. Cool. So it starts out with, the band broke up. They were at the peak of their career, and then they like never played again. And they've never spoken about what happened until now. And so you get these clips where the characters are now older, and it's 20 years afterwards, and they start speaking on their experience. And then as they kind of start to speak on a certain point in their career, it then flashes back, and then you get, kind of like the story. And it shows you, it dives into the show. And so what is also really interesting is that there's obviously conflicting experience. So it'll show like a flashback, and then it'll pull out, and then one of the characters is like, no, I did this, or I did this. I've seen Almost Famous. I also really liked Almost Famous. If you're a fan of Almost Famous, you will like Daisy Jones.
I haven't seen that.
The Six. Though Almost Famous is definitely like a little grittier than Daisy Jones and the Six. Though I will say, so I watched the episodes and then immediately needed to read the book because I am impatient and I wanted to know what happened at the end. And the way that the book is framed is also like interview style. So it's all dialogue. There isn't, this like plot and setting in the way that you would have like a typical narrative novel. It's just like Warren, Daisy, Camilla, and it just goes back and forth on this person who's interviewing them, which there's some interesting plot twist towards the end that I was like, oh, that is really cool. I would say that for me, the watching the show and then diving into the novel was definitely the better choice for me because I felt like the adaptation is so well done. It doesn't seem like they're changing a lot. Like the little changes that they've made make sense for it to as it's coming to life on screen, but the essence and the feel is so spot on for the show. I think they did a phenomenal job, and it helped because the book is in this like interview style. It's hard to kind of think about what the characters look like you get certain ideas of Daisy's really beautiful and has these like this red hair and these beautiful blue eyes, and Billy Dunn is this like really attractive man, but outside of that it's like really hard for me to formulate images of the characters in the book, and having watched the show that helped me kind of replace the actors as the characters in the book, and I felt like that made it more compelling to me. Like I don't know that I would have enjoyed this book as much if I hadn't watched the show. And the book is good. I wouldn't say it's like anything like whoa groundbreaking, but it was really compelling. I picked it up on Saturday and I finished it, or I picked it up on Friday, finished it on Saturday. So it's a really quick read.
I love that.
Yeah, Fleetwood Mac's Internal Problems created great music, especially the relationship between Lindsay Buckingham and Stevie Nicks, which was violent and led to this. Yeah, so it really is so much inspired by that relationship.
That's cool.
I definitely recommend the show. And then what's kind of crazy is that Aurora, they dropped the album, and it is the first fictional band to reach top chart. So it's number one.
That's so cool.
iTunes, top chart and Apple's top charts. So I've been listening to the album. I've been enjoying it. I've been listening to Daisy Jones and the Six. I'm really excited to see where it goes. I'm excited to see how they, having read it, there's like some twists that they pull in, and I'm curious to see if they continue to change more things or if they keep it similar. But what's been really fun to see is that people who've read and really love Taylor Jenkins Reid and really were obsessed with the novel are really happy and excited with adaptation, which I don't feel is often when we think of adaptation. No. So I highly recommend. It's on Amazon Prime. It's so good. I'm a little obsessed. It's
I definitely want to watch and read that. I've heard of the book like a lot. Like I remember I used to watch a lot of BookTube, and like people were talking about it like all the time, but I never picked it up. But now I feel like having a combination of all those things, like you can be really immersed, especially with like the music and the TV show. Like I would probably go about it the same way you would. I feel like that might be good to have like little visuals and things. But how many episodes that you said they have? Like 3 or
they have 3, and I would watch it and then maybe read the book.
Start the book.
Because, I was just I don't know that I would have found the book as compelling if I hadn't seen the show, because the show is so well done. The actors and actresses are doing a phenomenal job. The music is good. And also that's another aspect. Like the music is integral to the book. Like as the band is working on on the book, they talk about the feel of the song and the inspirations behind the songs. But obviously you don't know what it sounds like, or at least until you did it until the show, which I also think is really cool to give readers. Like now they know what it sounds like. And Taylor Jenkins Reid was also telling, she's like, fans have asked me what it sounds like. And obviously because it's inspired by Fleetwood Mac, you can kind of assume that they have like a very similar sound and vibe, but to then have it come to life, I think that's like the magic that happens when you have an adaptation. There's just so different things that you get from television or film or from music that obviously you can't with a book, and to see it come to life, it's really, really, really well done. I will say the show seems a little bit more toned down than the book. Like in the book, there's a lot more drug use than what I've seen in the first 3 episodes. So I'm curious to see if they follow that through. That's not really a spoiler. I mean, it's a 70s rock band. Like if you didn't like rock, I don't know what to tell you, but you don't see that as much in the show so far. But again, only 3 episodes. So good. The guy from Fleetwood Mac opened a restaurant on the island. I love that. That is
cool.
That's really interesting.
What kind of food was it?
Restaurant. So that's it for our geeky gossip. But we did want to announce something really special that we're doing in May together. We will be going to Shortbox Live, and we're going to be helping out with the con. And I'm super excited. So if anyone is going to Shortbox Live or going to California, we really for the con, please let us know because we'll be there. We'll be flying in. I'll be flying in on Friday. Candice will be flying in on Saturday. We'll be there through Monday, and we're going to be helping out with the con, and then maybe we might even be able to do a live stream from the con, which would be super fun.
I'm really hoping we can do that. It's gonna be so fun. Yeah, and it's their first time having that con too, right? So it's gonna be just a fun experience.
Yeah, I'm really pumped.
We're excited. We're really excited to go together and experience it.
And it will be sharing a hotel room. We'll be vlogging. It'll be like Comic Besties taking on San Francisco.
Yes, exactly. I love it. I'm very excited.
And then just as a heads up, we will be doing a show the weekend right before C2E2 and just talking about what we're looking forward to. But yes, we will be at C2E2. I'll be there Friday and Saturday. I won't be there Sunday because it is my birthday weekend and I am going to celebrate with the comics people. But then also I just want to hang around family. Though my dad is coming with me to C2E2 on Friday.
Yes.
He's so excited.
I love that. No, I'm going Friday, Saturday as well. It's a plan. So so I'm excited to go again with you.
I know. I told my dad, I was like, Dad, you're going to have an entourage. It's going, because I figured you would come, maybe Carlos. My boyfriend is trying to get off of work from the hospital that weekend so that he can come as well on Friday. So if you see me
with the whole posse,
stop me and say hi. I'll be with Candice. And I'm really looking forward to it. I haven't reached out to him on. I'm going to check in with him. Yeah, I'm excited to see who all will be there because we'll get to meet some West Coast people. I'm so pumped.
Yeah, between both conventions. Yeah, hopefully we get to meet a lot of you guys.
Yeah, if you're coming to C2E2, please let us know. We definitely want to hang out with as many people as we can and just chat. I think that'll be so fun.
Yay. A lot of things to look forward to.
Definitely. Well, thanks for joining, everyone. I hope that you all enjoy the rest of your weekend. Miss So, I totally get saving money, but one day we will definitely hang out.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Have a good rest of your day, guys.
Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.